Witnesses say election workers at the Detroit TCF Center empowered Democrat poll challengers and blocked or removed Republicans. One America's Christina Bobb has more from Michigan.
So the poll challenger, the first thing that I experienced was, as you walked in, before you even went in the door, the people that were checking you in, some of the first, I noticed a lady there had a Black Lives Matter mask on, right, a face mask on, and we were told not to wear anything political or that affiliated us with anything, to stay neutral. But as I walked throughout the conference center, it seemed like many people at these tables had Black Lives Matter paraphernalia or Whitmer paraphernalia on, and that didn't seem to bother anybody, right? So as you went in, as I walked around to the tables and started doing my job there, looking at ballots and envelopes, trying to make sure that everything was legitimate, I noticed that when they noticed that you had a GOP lanyard on, which is what I had on, from most tables that I experienced, they would treat you with disdain or try and stand in your way so that you couldn't see the table.
And what would happen when you approached a table and you tried to challenge or ask a question about a ballot? What would happen?
The poll manager, I think that was their name, right? The manager of the table would come over to you and say, you need to step back, and eventually, you're threatening my table, you're trying to kill my people, and they would wield COVID as a weapon
They
against
honestly
you.
said you were trying to kill them?
Multiple times. Not just not just the table managers, but the people working at the table. They would affect histrionics. Oh, you're trying to kill me, get this guy away from me, stuff like that. And I promise you, if you ask other people, they will say the same thing.
Did they say that to Democrat challengers?
So the way it went was this: you were allowed to have one Republican, one Independent, and one Democrat at each table. We didn't have enough people. That's why they called people like me in to get trained as a GOP person, because they didn't have enough of us. But when a Democrat person would be at the table, they didn't care if there were multiple Democrats at the table. And as a Republican, they would always challenge even if you were just talking to somebody for a second to ask them a question and they were a Republican poll challenger, they would immediately step in and force you away from the table and say there's too many of you.
Brendan, thank you so much for your time and
Yeah.
for your story.
Want to see more videos like this? Visit OANN.com for immediate access to all the clips you've been waiting to see.